doesn't get much better than this. Unless, of course, I burn this marshmallow, in which case it's just terrible. But got all these. You're watching me and I'm watching you, I know. Right behind my tent. Yeah, hello everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm at my second campsite in 2 days. This morning I left probably about 40 minutes ago, the Middlehills Farm Campsite, and this is the second part of this trip. There's 3 parts to this trip. Tomorrow I'm going to another campsite and I'm going to be using a different tent, probably be using this awning, which gives you a hint as to which tent I'll be using. But yeah, Middlehills was fantastic, and I've arrived at Hankin Farm and it's lovely. Got booked in. The lady and gentleman that greeted me at reception was lovely. Told me about the area and the campsite. So yeah, really nice. Obviously it's a farm campsite, so yeah, I love it. I'm loving my camping at the moment. It is wonderful. The field itself is a little bit on a bit of a slope, so that may be something to bear in mind if you're going to be coming here. But otherwise, so far so good. Very, very basic, but sometimes that's all you need. But it's just nice to get away. The peace and tranquility. The peace and tranquility is just literally priceless. We live in such a chaotic world these days. So the tent I'm using here is the Quechua 2 Seconds Easy Fresh and Black 2-person. I'm also using the Fresh Awning, which can be used on this tent, and the Quechua 2 Seconds Easy Fresh and Black 3-person. That just gave away what tent I'm using tomorrow, didn't it? Yeah, I really should think these videos through more properly. Anyway, time to get the bedding in. Now the Quechua 2 Seconds Easy Fresh and Black 2-person, you can fit 2 people in here, but you are going to be limited. And if you are going to be going with somebody else, then I highly recommend the awning, because you've got to think about where you're going to put all your kit. Unless you want to have everything in your car and keep going backwards and forwards to your car, which is just like, ugh. Done it myself. You can use that space in your awning. The only thing I wouldn't do is just bring food in, leave that in the car, because you are susceptible to the creepy crawlers in the awning. Once this is zipped up, you're fine. But yeah, the awning really for me is just a little bit of extra luxury. And you know, we've got really hot weather. We're talking like 27, 28 degrees centigrade this week, possibly even up to 30. And with a head like mine, it burns rather easy in sort of weather like this. So I like to stay sort of undercover and kind of watch the world go by. So the awning for me, realistically, is a good investment, because I can use my chair, sit out here, and just get away from that sun. And being white, it's obviously going to reflect a lot of those UV rays, and it's going to be cooler in here. This Fresh and Black technology, I've said it time and time again, as I said it in the last video, the fact that it really does make a difference. And all the tents I'm using this week, because of this hot weather, are all Fresh and Black. Now, I was actually going to use the Quechua MH100 2-person, the very basic one at £29.99. But when we got the weather forecast, I was like, yeah, I think I need to change my plan. So I'll be using that tent in a future video once the weather becomes a little bit cooler. But for me personally, for someone who needs to keep out of the heat, because need to protect this thing, then I should either buy a hat or just have a tent and awning like this. Okay, this is the Quechua camp bed basic. This measures 185 centimeters long by 60 centimeters wide by 20 centimeters long. It consists of 2 poles, 1 fabric center section for which to lie on, and then you've got 5 legs to go on. It weighs 5.3 kilos. I've used this before, but only in the 3-person version of this tent, so it'll be interesting to see how well it fits in here. Now the poles have got elasticated cord in the middle, which is great. Look, there we go, elasticated cord in the middle. Basically 3 sections of pole, each side, all elasticated in. Pop that down, that's 1. This pole is also elasticated. Pop that down there like that. And then we've got our 5 legs as well, which I'm just going to put to one side. Now, something I didn't think about before I decided to use this was, how am I going to get the poles in? We shall persevere, folks. Very confined space in here. Okay, not easy in that tent. I'm about to use the awning. So I've spread the bed out over the awning and the tent. But I will be able to get this in the tent. I will. So, what do we do next? Well, we've got these legs here. And basically in one end, they twist. And then they just pop into the other side. So, locate, twist. And then you need to be a little bit careful here, because they're kind of spring loaded. There we go, you get the click, and that's it, it's done. Repeat 5 times over. Okay, it's just going to fit. I've got to scramble over the bed though. So that bed is now in. I'm going to sleep with my head at this end, because obviously this is higher ground. This campsite is on a slope. I've had to come into the the tent itself, it's getting ridiculously hot out there. I can actually feel my leg burning. So yeah, I'm going to be using the Quechua Comfort 65 in here. I'm going to try and place it in here, but yeah, my leg was burning. So yeah, that's fine. That's going to be really nice and comfy tonight. I can feel it already. That's going to be a nice bed. It's 4:05 in the afternoon, and it has been roasty toasty today. It's been close to about 30 degrees centigrade. And for those of you who live outside the UK, we tend to get very humid heat. So even though it says 30-degree heat, it's very heavy heat. I've been abroad before many times in the past, and yeah, 30 degrees is kind of manageable when you're abroad, but here it just feels, I don't know why it is, maybe it's because we're close to the Atlantic, I don't know, but yeah, it's been really warm, and I've been trying to keep out the sunshine a bit more today. I've got burnt on my neck, burnt on my head, and yeah, I don't really feel like I'll be venturing far today. So I'll be doing cooking here today, having a few beers no doubt, and sleeping in there, the Quechua 2 seconds easy, fresh and black, 2-person. But a little while ago I got some water. I went down to the toilets and I got talking to a lady there. You just strike up conversation with people, you know, when you're travelling on your own, and it's nice. I got talking to a lady there called Kelly, so if you're watching, Kelly, hello, it was nice to meet you. And it was her first night camping last night here at Hankin Farm, and it was lovely to get her perspective, and it was kind of a reminder for me when I went away for the very first time on my own and learning all about camping again. I mean, I've been camping since the age of 14, but never had I actually been away on my own. And to some people it might not be a big deal, but to other people, yeah, it can be, and it was certainly for me. And I didn't know if I was going to love it or not. And I started off with a £50 Shadow 250 tent, and it was a 2-person tent where I put a double air bed in there and literally filled the whole lot, and then literally went to the car backwards and forwards. And that was a place between Hunstanton and Wells next to sea. And a few years later, here I am with a large collection of tents. Rather embarrassing large collection of tents. But yeah, it was lovely to meet Kelly. And when we started walking back, I sort of told her about the fact that, you know, I've got a YouTube channel, and obviously, you know, you'll be fine. Camping is wonderful. We all know it. If you're interested in camping, then you'll know exactly what I mean. Getting with nature again, and just waking up to birdsong and the pitter patter of rain on the top. It's just, you just instantly detox. And yeah, she came back to the tent. I stood outside. She went into the tent, felt the coolness of the fresh and black technology, and she was impressed with it. And she said about when she opened the door on her tent, it was like oven, you know, very hot and humid. And obviously I'm going camping tomorrow. I'm at Burr's Manor Campsite, I think that's the name of it. But I'm going there tomorrow. That's up near Buxton. I'm hoping to go to Buxton and Bakewell tomorrow, and then I'll be setting up the Quechua 2 seconds easy, fresh and black 3P, and with this awning as well, because there's nothing like sitting up in a tent like I am now in a good old chair. So yeah, this is turned out to be a really good trip, doing multiple campsites in one full trip. Home, 3 campsites, home again. So yeah, I'm missing my dog Bella though. I really am. I'm missing her. I heard her on the phone today. She's being looked after at the moment, so she's okay. Trying to keep her indoors as much as possible, obviously being a dog and the hot weather. But yeah, I'm missing her. And that's another good thing about these trips. You know, you go away for a while, you start missing things, and you realise what's important in your life and what really isn't. And when you go back, you get a rejuvenation of how you feel about certain things. And I certainly miss my little girl, bless her heart. I for those of you who are wondering why I haven't brought her on this trip, the fact of the matter is the forecast said, well, it just went really cool there. That was nice. Yeah, the wind's picking up. I didn't bring her on this trip purely down to the fact that we knew the weather was going to be really hot, and she's got a fur coat, bless her. She's better off safe and sound in a house. Okay, this is Hankin Farm Campsite, not far from the villages of Quechua. No, it's famous for the Quechua Tramway Village and Belper. All the toilets amenities are just down there, that little block in the centre. And zoom in, right in the centre of your screen, that's where the toilet block is, and the entrance is just around that. I thought I'd show you inside the tent and the awning. How I've got it set up is I've got two tables. The blue one here is for water, for drinking, for my coffee, and then down here is for cooking. Obviously I won't be cooking in here, but I can take that outside, no problem. And then just below here I've got like a collapsible bowl with handles. I've got my washing liquid, tea towel, scourer. That's on that side. I'll just pan you over here before we go into the bedroom. I've got my folding chair just there, which I folded out of the way because it just makes easier access in and out of the awning and tent. So I've just had a caterpillar in here, a big black spiky caterpillar. I managed to get it out okay, but so I've got a little bedside table here. Got my phone on there with Bella. 4:51 p.m. Obviously got a power bank, got quite a few of them for this trip. And then because it's nice and cool in here, cooler than anywhere, either in the car or anywhere else, got my gas cylinders there. And apparently the next door neighbour last night was noisy, so I've got my earplugs at the ready, and I've got my lantern, and there's a pocket behind. You can see my little pump. So I'm quite broad-shouldered. I like to sleep on my side, so I've got two pillows there. I've got a single duvet and then a sleeping bag underneath, and under that, as you saw earlier, you've got the sim mat, Quechua sim mat, and the cot underneath. And then I'm using under the cot for like storage, a bag of bags, some drink, that sort of thing. So that fits in there just about perfect, really. And scan round to this end, got a cool bag, some beers in. It's probably not quite as cool as it was yesterday because obviously they do deteriorate. I've got no electric supply on this camp, or any camp this week. The lantern, it's a two-person tent, shouldn't need a lot of light. I'm using the Quechua BL40 lantern, so I'll use that to illuminate inside here. And if we go back to the drinking station, and there's a spider, out you go. I've got my Jetboil Zip, and I've got my water fountain, so I can turn that on and just hope I don't miss. I love that feature. So there we go. I'm not going to have a coffee yet, so I'll be pouring the contents of that straight back into there, but I love this pump. I think that's brilliant. For coffee later on, or probably in the morning, I'm using Taylor's coffee bags. Tonight I'll probably be eating some pasta, so I'll be cooking it in the big pan, and then I'll be eating it out of this here. and that's my foldable collapsible mug for when I drink a coffee later on. Okay, it is about 20 to 9 at night. The sun's just setting behind that horizon over there. I came here about 20 past 10 this morning after leaving Middlehills Farm Campsite where I was staying last night, and being out in the fresh air, wide open spaces, it is, yeah, it's tiring, it's hard work, and the heat and the humidity as well has been a lot. But I'm enjoying myself. I'm genuinely enjoying myself. Out of the two campsites, if I had to pick which one I had to go to again, I would choose the last one I was at. This one's nice. This one's clearly a working farm, and I've seen tractors coming through here. In fact, just a little while ago, I was filming and a tractor came all the way through here and through that gate over there, which I'm going to cut to now. Yeah, there's a tractor just there behind me. You see it in the background. So it's embarrassing when you're filming the people. So as you saw there, the tractor was coming through, and it's like, I'm now thinking, I'm hoping this isn't going to be going on all night. I watch a certain, shall we say, car enthusiast celebrity who has a farm. One of my favourite TV series, Clarkson's Farm. There we go. And yeah, when they harvest through the night and they put in the hours, I'm just hoping it's not anything like that tonight. We shall see, we shall see. I may even sleep all the way through it anyway, I'm hoping so. But yeah, it's a break. And the fact of the matter is, even though the fact that out of the two campsites I visited this week, this probably is my least favourite, at least I know the fact that there is civilization not very far away. I mean, literally within a 5-minute drive. Where I was at Middlehills, it was like a 15-minute drive to get to Matlock Bath, and through tight, twisty roads. And yeah, I think if you're going to go to Middlehills, you'd want to take everything with you. Whereas here, you've got the luxury of having, as I said, civilization literally on your doorstep. But I think out of the two, I think I would rather have where I was out in the middle of absolute nowhere. But the people who run it, it looks like, I would say it's not being disrespectful at all, to possibly elderly lady and gentlemen, and you go to the cottage and check in. They were wonderful, checked me in, absolutely wonderful, told me where everything was. Not a problem, absolutely lovely people, absolutely lovely. So yeah, I mean, I would probably come back here again. But if I had the choice out of the two, I think I would choose the last campsite I was at. Either way, it's just nice to get away. There's hardly any room in here to film and to get ready for bed. Good morning, everybody. It's just turned 6 a.m. I woke up about 3 minutes ago. I set my alarm for 6 a.m. because obviously I want to have a cup of coffee and then I want to pack everything away and then get off to the next campsite. And that's about 17 miles away. And I can check in there about 10 a.m. So, yeah, obviously get up, have a cup of coffee, pack everything away, and then get off to the next place, and then probably have a look around the local area there as well. So I want to have a look at places like Bakewell and Buxton if I can, but that will be in the next video. But yeah, I slept really well. It's like no disturbances in the night, super comfortable, absolutely loved it. It's like I probably look like I haven't had enough sleep, but I've literally just woken up. But it looks like we've had some rain or something in the night again. So, yeah. The awning, incidentally, I'm just going to literally roll up, put it into a bin liner because it's still going to be quite wet. I'm not going to have much time to pack it all away. And I will be using the awning on my next tent when I go to Burr's Manor wild camping. So that'll be obviously in the next video. But my priority right now is to get dressed because I'm only half dressed, and get a cup of coffee and then get packed away. But yeah, it's actually been really good. I've really enjoyed it. So that sleep there last night was absolutely golden. I seem to be sleeping really well on this trip. It's like the best night's sleeps of my life, and that's no understatement. That's or over exaggeration. My brain is still booting up. Should have one of them status bars going across. Oh wow, that was a good sleep. I didn't even like reach out and get disturbed by, like when you touch something that you're not familiar with and it's like, oh, what? It kind of breaks you out of your sleep. Nothing. No. I did wake up once, and that was just to kind of recharge because I realised I got one lead. Obviously I need to recharge the camera and I need to recharge my phone, so I got the power bank. I had to do that, but that was like 1:30 this morning. But other than that, absolutely fine. I'm really happy. Tell you what, folks, it's a beautiful morning. And this coffee is just off the chart. Coffee bags, best invention ever. Apart from the tent, obviously. Well, I've emptied the tent full of its contents, all the bedding and tables and everything else. There's nothing left in the tent. I've checked all the pockets, got all the lights down, everything barring the awning and the tent are in the car, ready for the next campsite. All that's left for me to do is obviously take the tent and the awning down, and the awning has got quite a bit of condensation on it. The tent is perfectly dry, it's fine. Now, as I'm going to another campsite directly from here, and I'll be using that awning, all I'm going to do is put the awning into a bin liner. It just saves any moisture getting from the awning into the car and possibly affecting any other items that are in the car. So yeah, that's the plan. There is a little bit of moisture on there actually, just condensation. I think this side will be fine because it's had direct sunlight. So what I'll do, as it's freestanding and I've got a bit of time, the beauty of the 2 seconds easy is not only they're quick and easy to set up, but also to pack away, incredibly easy. It's easy all round. So a little bit of moisture here, and I'll give that 10-15 minutes just to dry. Well, I got changed, and before I read it in the comments, yes, I am overweight and I will be losing some. Hankin Farm Campsite. This cost me £10 for the night, and yeah, there are some negatives I can find with this campsite, things that can't be changed because of the nature of the land. It's on a slope, you put things on a table and you tend to find they just slide off. But that makes part of the fun, you know, it gives me something to talk about when I get home. I've enjoyed it, and if you're asking me would I come back again, the answer is yes, of course I would. But I like to go on adventures and see new places and be kind of surprised, whether it be positive or sometimes negative. You hope for the best, and yeah, we'll see what the next one's like at Burr's Manor Wild Camping. I've just checked it on the itinerary and it cost me £12 per night at Burr's Wild Camping. This at Hankin Farm cost me £10 per night, which I think is very, very good value for money. I think the toilet block is probably in a state of renovation. Yeah, there's nobody in there, so we're safe to go in. So, urinals. And then we've got one toilet, two toilet, and then we've got the sinks. Hello. And yeah, that's the toilets. Now, clearly, if anybody's walking by here and this door is open, or if somebody comes in, uh-oh, yeah, it's a shame that they are not over there and the toilet's over here. Anyway, we'll vocate before anybody decides that the fact they need to use the toilet. So, but you know, it's camping. I was able to use the loos. I'm not expecting gold-plated walls. It is what it is. Anyway, let me just check the tent. Sun's just going behind a bit of a cloud now. But yeah, that's nice and bone dry. So we know the tent is empty inside. Time to take it down and see it again, hopefully again in another video, because the next one I'm going to be using is a slightly larger version of this particular tent. And incidentally, if you're asking me what the price is of this tent, it is currently in the UK right now £149.99. It is a 2-man tent, and I'll put the dimensions on screen for you. There we go. Super easy. Actually, it's not too bad at all. Not too damp. I've certainly had a lot worse where it's a pain to get them into the bags, but not so with the Quechua 2 seconds easy, fresh and black, 2-person. Very easy. I'm gonna miss it. 2/3 of the way through my trip, and whilst at the weekend it's going to be well over 30 degrees apparently, I don't really want to be camping out in that sort of temperature, not even with tents like this. There we go, all packed away. Right, I'm just checking the grass, making sure I've left nothing behind, leave no trace. It applies to wild camping especially, but I also think it applies to campsite camping as well. It's just peace of mind for you. You don't want to get like 10 miles down the road and thinking, did I forget something? Did I lose something? And believe you me, I've done that in the past. But yeah, it looks like I'm okay. The grass is long, largely uncut, but I think we're okay. I can't see anything there at all. So that's Hankin Farm Campsite. I've enjoyed my stay, I really have, and yeah, it feels a bit sad for me. This is 2/3 of my journey now done, but I've got to go on to the next one. So if you want to see that one and you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to the channel, like this video, share, and comment if you've got any questions below. Yeah, this has been so far a really wonderful trip, breaking down 3 days into 3 campsites. And yeah, 3 tents is probably a little bit excessive, I'll grant you that, but at least I'm getting to see a different place every single day, and that's wonderful. And then in future, if I decide the fact that I want to come back here again and possibly spend longer, then I've got a memory of it, or in my case I've got video of it, so I can yeah, that place, we'll go back there, yeah, and I'll spend longer. So thank you very much for watching, take care of yourselves, and I hope to see you in the next one where I'll be at Burr's Manor while camping. Take care.